Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a very open-ended reading and energy update for our collective here on YouTube. So when I say it's open-ended, what I mean is I'm really going to be just opening up the energy here, kind of creating this portal that you can contribute your own intentions into, and we will see what comes through. So if you do have specific intentions for this reading, you can think them or visualize them. You can speak them out loud. You can write them down. You can type them in the comments section. Whatever you feel guided to do, of course, however you choose to transmit your intentions, this creates an energy that is felt, sensed, and becomes a co-creative element in this reading. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this co-creative process. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. By the way, I know we're almost a week into June, which is pretty wild to say, but if I haven't said it yet on the channel, happy June. I hope you're all really enjoying the month so far. I would love to hear in the comments how you've been doing, how you've been feeling energetically. Of course, one of my favorite aspects of this YouTube community we are creating is that we're really able to share experiences and support one another along this spiritual journey in the human realm here on Earth. So thank you again just for being here. Your presence is so powerful in co-creating everything that comes through these videos. So, okay, someone has set intentions to know about someone connecting with them romantically, which I'm picking up from this card, You're Always on My Mind. Oh, before we get too far into the reading here, I also want to let you know that I will be picking up many different threads of energy throughout this reading. So always be sure to only pick up and incorporate the threads that connect for you in a personal and intuitive way, because at the end of the day, it's really your intuition that is the compass of your own life experience. So only your intuition can sort through what is right and aligned for you here. So here I'm going to place this card. And we also have You Tame My Demons. So this is someone who thinks of themselves as somewhat of a rebel. I don't want to say that they think of themselves as a dark person. I don't get that in any kind of sense of them being evil or anything like that. But this is someone who has a lot of shadow to them. I feel that you and this person are very opposite because you seem to embody a very light, playful, beautiful kind of energy. And this person, the best way I can put it into words is it's almost like they seem to embody this somewhat rugged, kind of more shadowy, darker sort of energy. Again, not that they have malicious intent, just that they are very connected to their shadow side. They may have experienced some traumas or hardships in their life that have tapped them into their shadow. Now, of course, that's not to say that you haven't experienced these types of traumas and hardships. In fact, I'm actually picking up that the reason you hold and embody so much light is because you've carved out space to hold that light within yourself. And the way that we carve out that space is actually by becoming more familiar and conscious of our shadow. And often it's through trauma and hardship that we get really familiar with our own shadow side. So it's almost like on the surface or in the physical realm, you and this person look very opposite because of the way that you appear physically. People look at you and they see light, beauty, radiance. They would most likely never suspect the kinds of hardships and possibly even traumas that you've been through in your life. However, on the surface, this person presents very differently. Again, they present as colder, more rugged, darker in some kind of way. And the interesting thing is, although you look so opposite on the surface, at the core, you are the same or very similar. Now, what this tells me is that it's very possible this is a twin flame connection. Of course, this may not be the case for everyone, so only take that label if it feels aligned with your situation. But it may be that the two of you are twin flames, meaning you carry an identical core soul frequency, but the way that you manifest, the way that you appear physically to others is almost directly opposite of one another. So what else can I channel here about this fascinating situation here? How is this person thinking or feeling about you at this time? Cycles. So what they're feeling is that this connection is very cyclical, and maybe you're feeling this as well. They're feeling that if they walk far enough in one direction, they always get led back to you. They're feeling as though cycles of their life always lead them back. I'm hearing into your arms. Maybe this person is longing to be in your arms, to be held or embraced by you. And that's something that they've been thinking about. In this particular cycle, there's some kind of healing taking place, either within them or within this connection. And I'm picking up that there may be some kind of distance between the two of you that is almost acting as this sort of container, allowing this healing to take place. Now, this healing seems to be related to their throat chakra. Now, this is someone who's actually very vocal. I'm picking up on a person that might be very talkative, very sarcastic, very confident with their words in the way that they speak. They come off confident and maybe even a little bit calloused in their speech to others. However, the interesting thing is, this is someone who, although they were very talkative and very vocal, was not really sharing who they were through that speech and through what they would say and communicate to others. So it's almost like they were using this overblown throat chakra energy, being over talkative, maybe even being sarcastic with others, saying things that were cynical or maybe even came off as harsh. They were using this level of vocalness, if that's a word, to cover for the fact or to compensate for the fact that they weren't really connecting with their heart and communicating from their heart in a balanced way. This is someone who doesn't like to come off as soft or overly emotional. I'm really strongly getting that this may be a masculine energy just because the programming I'm picking up around them seems to be very much that kind of toxic masculinity, societal programming, teaching masculines that they have to come off as harsh and cold and cynical in order to appear strong, and that being soft and authentic and open is somehow a weakness, which of course the opposite is actually true. And there is a powerful collective healing that's been taking place, a sort of turning of the tides in the masculine collective, where divine masculine energy is really beginning to awaken globally, and the masculine energy is healing, which is allowing masculines to increasingly begin opening themselves up and being more authentic and balanced in their communication, not being afraid to communicate from the heart and step up as that really heart-centered leader. Yeah, I have the card Ascend. It seems like the masculine potential twin flame, depending on your circumstances, who's coming up here is one who is ascending beyond this kind of toxic masculinity programming through the connection that they're feeling to you, which of course, if this person is connecting here more so as the divine masculine, then you are most likely resonating more so with the divine feminine. Although, as I always say, we all do have a balance of both energies internally within each of us. So whenever I use these labels, divine feminine or divine masculine, I could be referring to some aspect of your internal self or to some external person, circumstance, structure, or situation. But this masculine is definitely ascending above this lower vibrational toxic masculine programming. And it's interesting, I got a confirmation that we are speaking about a masculine here because we have the masculine card. So this is really giving a new definition. It's interesting. I almost stuttered over my words, which tells me there's a little bit of strange throat chakra energy coming through here. And we've been talking so much about this masculine's throat chakra. So maybe they feel like they're stuttering around you or feeling very nervous communicating with you, because when they communicate with you, they are unable to close off their heart like they're accustomed to doing. So even though this is a masculine who's used to being in a way very calloused with their speech, but also very vocal, very confident in what they're saying, when it comes to you, they don't have that same sense of confidence because they can't be calloused or they can't be that kind of false, strong exterior, that overblown, egotistical version of themselves. That all melts away, and what's left is their raw, authentic self, their true self, and how they're truly feeling about you. So when they say you tame my demons, it may be that what they're saying is one of those so-called symbolic demons is their coldness that they tend to have when they communicate with others. But when they're around you, it's like they can't upkeep that. They feel like you tame them in that way because you bring out this softer side of themselves. We also have the card, I want a future with you. And I keep strongly hearing you're in my plans. So maybe there's been a feminine wondering, is this a masculine that plans ahead for the future of us together? Am I in their plans? And if so, I'm strongly feeling a resounding yes in response to that. We also have the card Rise Above. Wow, it's interesting because we are getting the cards Ascend, the card Rise Above. There's definitely some kind of spiritual elevation happening here within this masculine, but we also have the card Loss of self and identity. Discover your true self again. It's almost like you have this person very confused because you make them feel as though they don't know who they are beneath all of those layers of that egotistical, overblown confidence that they tend to draw upon when they're communicating with others that can't stand up around you. When they're around you, in the absence of that, they begin to ask themselves these deeper questions. Who am I really beneath that false sense of confidence, that false show of strength that I put on for other people? Okay, so how is this masculine ascending or rising above something? Oh, interesting. So rise above is on the sacral chakra. So this may be a masculine who in the past pursued a lot of superficial, very physical connections or romantic connections with feminines in their life. But always struggled to develop a deeper bond spiritually and emotionally. Now with you, it seems to be the opposite, where they naturally feel this deeper spiritual, mental, and emotional connection to you. But when it comes to the physical aspects of your connection, it's almost like I'm picking up on some hesitation. I feel like you make this masculine nervous to physically approach you or physically connect with you because they perceive your sacral energy as very sacred. Yeah, here we have the King of Swords. Can I get more information on this? The Ace of Swords. So this is a masculine having a breakthrough about something related to you or to the connection. I feel like having you in their life naturally makes them feel stronger, but from a different place. Other things or people in their life or from their past were really feeding their ego. So their sense of strength was coming from either their intelligence, their ability to perform in the workplace, their appearance, their status, something very physical. But when it comes to you, just being around you seems to strip back all of those material and superficial layers and leave their core authentic self. And although they're feeling a little bit vulnerable and exposed in all of that, they also are finding this more balanced sense of inner strength that they only seem to feel when they're around you, because when they're around you, their old defenses can't hold up and they're forced to connect more with their authentic self. Interesting. What else can I get here? This person might be a leader in the workplace. I see that with the King of Swords as well. They might be a boss. They might be someone who, I'm seeing someone on the phone, like giving orders or making calls, telling people what to do. They might have people under them in the workplace. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the energy oracle cards just to get a deeper sense of what this person is thinking and feeling truly internally. It's so interesting because it's almost difficult to energetically get past their defense mechanisms and their walls and layers. So many people, when they meet or connect with this person, have this sense, it's like they walk away perceiving them as this strong, confident, but possibly cold or even egotistical person. But you see a softer side of them that no one else sees. And it's very difficult, even in this reading, to pry into, I don't want to use the word pry, because this person's higher self is very interested in bringing through this message to you. But you know what I mean? It's almost like there are all these layers that you have to get beneath with this person in order to be able to really get down to what they are truly thinking or feeling. And yet they are astonished because somehow you seem to be able to just immediately slice through all of those layers. I'm hearing just with a glance. Maybe they feel like when you look at them, you are just seeing them on a much deeper level than anyone else they've ever encountered. So we're going to get into more of this person's thoughts and feelings towards you. But first, if you are resonating with the reading, I would really highly recommend 2 subliminals that I've created. Subliminals are audio meditation tracks that contain unconscious spoken affirmations that are targeted to the subconscious mind, which is so powerful because it's actually the subconscious that controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So reprogramming what's happening in our subconscious mind with subliminals is a really powerful way to entirely reprogram our energetic field and manifest much more quickly into our lives. Personally, I started seeing the most profound results, shifts, and changes when I started using subliminals several years ago, and I'm now sharing my very own library of them with all of you through my app, Sound and Soulful. So as you can see on the screen, on this app, I have over 130 subliminals for every area of life. So there are subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mindset, mood shifts, energy clearing, for manifesting money and material things, for love and relationships, and so much more. And when you sign up for a free trial account within the app, you get access to every subliminal I've created in 10 different background sound options. You can read the affirmations while you are listening, and you can even create your own custom private playlists. So the two subliminals I would most recommend for this reading are Love Magnetism and the Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing. You can even put both of these on a playlist if you feel guided to do so for maximum benefit, but they are both designed to help really recalibrate you and retune you to the frequency of unconditional love, which is the most powerful frequency on the planet. Specifically, Love Magnetism will help you attract in your highest timeline in love, whatever that looks like for you personally. And the Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing is more so specifically for those of you on a twin flame path, because if you are a twin flame, you are most likely exchanging a huge amount of energy with this other soul constantly. So this is more of an energy hygiene, energy clearing tool to assist you along that twin flame specific journey. But regardless, you can explore both of these subliminals and see which one or maybe both connect with you personally and intuitively. And the link to download my app, Sound and Soulful, is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay. So the first thing this masculine is really thinking about you, Divine Feminine, is they are thinking there's something spiritual going on here. And I get this because we pulled the crown chakra card, but also the way your mare essence and energy, I'm hearing just when they hear someone say your name, or they hear the sound of your voice or your touch, everything about you affects them in such a profound way that they can't even articulate into words. And that's how they recognize that there is some kind of deeper bond here. Now, I get the sense this is someone who's pretty logically oriented, so they might not call it a twin flame, a soulmate, a soul connection, or even a spiritual bond. They might just say there's something about you, or there's something special about you. But what this person is feeling is your essence, your energy that is infused into everything you say. Of course, your voice carries that frequency of your soul as well. And there's definitely something about the sound of your voice coming through here where that's just something they crave hearing. Now, I'm also getting at the bottom of the deck, the goddess of the moon, which is really interesting because what I see is this masculine thinking to themselves that there's something very powerful about you. They perceive you as someone who's very powerful, but also very independent. Maybe you are someone who has really learned to take care of themselves, who doesn't really need to rely heavily on other people. You seem to be someone who has really stepped into their empowerment, especially recently. And this is something that this masculine finds extremely attractive, but I'm also getting they may not always be vocal about just how powerful they perceive you to be. It's almost like they're trying to play it off casual or to be coy about this because they don't want to oversay it. They don't want to just come off as so infatuated with you or almost like obsessed with you. And yet it's like they are truly so enthralled by your energy by how powerful they perceive you to be. Really, it's a kind of spiritual power and a spiritual status that they're picking up on, which is also why they're very hesitant about their physical advances toward you, because they can sense that you do carry this high level of spiritual status. Now, I will say we're getting financial constraints in cornucopia reversed. So this is a masculine who feels deep down. I don't feel like they would really communicate this, but deep down, they're feeling a bit insecure because something about you is coming up as very like limitless, very abundant, and something about them is coming up like lackful or restricted or kind of like in this looping pattern. And now this could manifest in many different ways. And maybe it's when it comes to work, maybe you have a higher degree of freedom when it comes to your career, your business, your finances. Maybe this is related to your spiritual essence, your mindset, the way you live your life. Maybe you're just a very free, open person, whereas this masculine perceives themselves as having a more limited or restrictive way of being or thinking, and that's causing them to feel very insecure. I even feel like this is something they worry about when it comes to connecting with you, but that they can't seem to find the words to really articulate. I will say that something coming through very strongly is their intense desire just to be near you or to be around you with the community card. This is someone who just longs to be in your energy, to be in your presence in one way or another. I'm even picking up on a little bit of jealousy if you have, let's say, other people, romantic options, or maybe even non-romantically, you just have people that you're really close to. I'm almost picking up on this slight feeling from this masculine of just wanting to be part of that inner circle, wanting to be someone who interacts with you in the physical on a regular basis, and someone that you trust to that degree. I'm also getting that you're someone who is very selective about who you do allow into that sacred space of the inner circle around you. So wow, very powerful messages coming through this reading. I'm sure this is an energy we'll be channeling into more in future videos. So if you would like to manifest more messages in the future about this person, I do invite you to subscribe to the channel. This does help me to pick up more easily on your energy over the course of time to manifest more accurately for you and your situation. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. So I'm going to go ahead and read a Rumi message here. We have the cards, the all-encompassing hand, and let love transform. So let's see what the guidebook has to say here. Okay, the guidebook says, the spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes all soul. Love is my medicine, intelligent medicine. It takes death and makes it a passageway into greater life. What genius is this? A genius that will render anything and everything as a pathway to life. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Thank you so much again for tuning in today. If anything connected with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. And of course, if you do want to utilize my subliminals as a tool to assist you in your journey through life and help you manifest your desires and align with the frequency of what you want to attract, then the link to download my app, Sound and Soulful, is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.